Organizing data. Data collected from a survey can be represented in many ways. The first way of representation is a pictogram. A pictogram is a frequency table in which frequency is represented by a repeated symbol. The first question, the pictogram shows the number of phone calls made by Neural from her mobile phone during a week. Here, always for a pictogram, a key has to be written. The key is represented. One mobile is represented by one call. For all the days of the week, we have the number of calls she has made. For example, if you take on Sunday, she has made 1, 2, 3, 5 calls. So like that, if you take for Friday, she has made up 4 calls. How many calls did she make in the week? So total number of mobiles, if you add up, that will be the number of calls she made in a week. So from the pictogram, we can see that Neural made total of 27 calls. The next representation is bar chart. A bar chart consists of a series of bars or blocks of the same width drawn either vertically or horizontally. The second question, the grouped frequency table shows the marks of 24 students in a test. Draw a bar chart for the data. Now the marks are given from 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 40 and 41 to 50. The frequencies of the students who have scored marks are given. Now in order to represent this in a graph, we need to take the marks on the x-axis and the frequencies on the y-axis. So the first bar will be for 1 to 10. 1 to 10, the number of students taking it is 2. So that is why we draw the bar for 1 to 10 up to 2. Then 11 to 20 is 3. So the bar extends till 3. Then 21 to 30, the bar is up to 5. Like this, it goes on for all the values. We draw the graph. In this, we have to see that both the axis has to be labeled. That is, on the x-axis, what you are representing. On the y-axis, what you are representing. You have to label the axis. The class intervals are written under the middle of each bar. The bars are separated by equal spaces. These are the 3 things we need to keep in mind while drawing a bar graph. Pie chart. In a pie chart, the whole of the data is represented by a circle. The angle of each sector is proportional to the frequency. The third question, in a survey about holidays, 120 people were asked to state which type of transport they used on their last holiday. This table shows the results of the survey. Draw a pie chart to illustrate the data. Type of transport, train, bus, car, ship and plane is given, and the frequency, the number used, train is 24, bus is 12 and then cars is 59. Like that it goes on. Now we need to find the angle for each frequency. In order to find, let us make a table, that is train, bus, car. Then our frequency we write in the second slot. Then for the calculation of our angle is 24 is the frequency and the total is 120. That is why 24 by 120, we have to fit in a circle which is 360 degrees is a complete circle. So multiply by 360. So we get our angle as 72. In the same way as the frequency is 12. 12 over 120 into 360, we get it as 36. So like that, we need to calculate for all the frequencies. The total angle has to come as 360. Then only our pictograph will be correct and we'll be able to put in all the values in the circle. When you're drawing a pie chart, you need to keep the following points in mind. The first thing is use a frequency total. In this case, it is 120 to calculate each fraction. Check that the sum of all the angles is 360. Then the third one is you need to label each sector. Like how we have labeled over here, ship, plane, train, bus. Like that you need to label each sector. Then the angle or frequencies do not have to be shown on the pie chart. Then the next one is the scatter diagrams. Scatter diagram is a method of comparing two variables by plotting their corresponding values on a graph. In order to compare the two values, we use the term correlation. Here we have the first graph which you have is a positive correlation. That is, if one value increases, the other value also increases. So it is called a positive correlation. Here, for example, the height in centimeters and the arm span. When the height increases, the arm span also equally increases. So that is why it is called as a positive correlation. Negative correlation is if one value increases, the other value decreases, then it is called as a negative correlation. That is, if you take the age of a car and the value of the vehicle, when the number of years increase, the car's value will depreciate. That is why this is called as a negative correlation. Here, third one, the distance from work and the wages doesn't depend on the distance you travel to work. So that is why it is called as a zero correlation. Then the last one is the line of best fit. A line of best fit is a straight line that goes between all the points on a scatter diagram, passing as close as possible to all of them. Now here, if you take the line which is drawn for mathematics marks and science marks, if a student is good in mathematics, automatically the student will be good in science also. That is why this is a positive correlation. And then our line of best fit which is drawn passes through most of the points. Here below and above, if you take, only equal number of points are there. That is why this line is called as a line of best fit. Thank you.